Mhm. Um, okay, we're gonna do roll call in a minute.
All right, we'll see if we'll get started right now. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. I would like to call this meeting to order. Director Phipps, could you do a roll call, please?
Of course, Madam Mayor. Mayor James,
Here.
Councilman Goldsmith is trying to get online. Councilman Trollinger,
Present.
Councilwoman Bryant Ward,
Present.
Councilman Jenkins.
Here.
Madam Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you so much. So to begin the meeting, if you all would stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Council, if you've had an opportunity to look at the agenda, I would entertain a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
Councilwoman Brian Ward, Ward 3, I move that we adopt the agenda as presented.
Thank you very much. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Madam Mayor, just two quick things. Could I add just two future events on the agenda at the very end when you talk about future events?
You could add that into your commission reports.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for March 14th. I would entertain a motion for that, if so desired.
Madam Mayor, I would move to approve the minutes of dated March the 14th, 2023 as presented.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That brings us to the portion of our agenda where it's public comment. If anyone would like to speak, we ask that you state your name, if you live within the incorporated town limits, and if you could keep it to 3 minutes or less, I'd appreciate it. So do I have anybody this evening that would like to speak? I hear crickets. So I'm going to say no. So we'll go on to the next day. We do have upcoming, and I tell you what, I'm not an original Marylander, but I am for the last 21 years, and they have the best looking flag. So on the 25th of March, it is Maryland Day. So we do have a proclamation in honor of Maryland Day. Whereas the distinguished and heralded traditions of Maryland began on March 25th, 1634, as two small sailing vessels, the Ark and the Dove, approached southern Maryland shores and landed on St. Clemens Island, allowing settlers to disembark onto Maryland soil for the first time. And whereas since the arrival of Maryland's first pioneers, great Marylanders such as Thomas Stone, Francis Scott Key, Edgar Allan Poe, Harriet Tubman, and Matthew Henson stand as examples of the greatness inspired by the old line state. Today, our state continues to prosper and build upon the ideals of Maryland founders and pioneers. And whereas Maryland Day, March 25th, is a day all Marylanders are encouraged to commemorate by participating in activities designed to celebrate our history and reflect upon the vast and diverse offerings of our state. Now, therefore, we, the Council of the Town of La Plata, do here proclaim March 25th, 2023 as Maryland's Day in the Town of La Plata and do commend this observation to all of our citizens to join in celebrating Maryland's 388th anniversary. And it is signed by myself, Mayor, Town of La Plata, Councilman Jim Goldsmith, Ward 1, Councilman Matt Trollinger, Ward 2, Councilwoman Bryant Ward, Ward 3, and Councilman Jenkins, Ward 4. And I encourage you to break out your Maryland garb and wear it on the 25th, because not that you can't wear it any other time, but make Maryland proud on that day. So that is coming up. All right, next is another great thing that I love to see is the neighborhood grant presentations. We have 4 grants that were given up, and I'm going to have the council people, councilman and councilwoman, present them to the neighborhoods. And so I will start. Councilman Jenkins, if you want to come down here and ask representatives from.
Washington Square. So, again, Dave Jenkins from Ward 4, we read this to you. Neighborhood event mini grant recipient. Plata presented to Washington Square in the amount of $500 for the spring celebration. This 21st day of March 2023, in appreciation and recognition of your participation in the town of Plata's neighborhood event mini grant program. Your community spirit is appreciated. Your council person is Mr. Goldsmith, and he's online tonight, so I'm pitch hitting for you.
That's
For him. I mean. So again, thank you very much for your participation.
Thank you.
Well, there is a bill in DC to dedicate a street in honor of a former enslaved man. He was an early pioneer.
And what fabulous event are you doing? If you can give us a little bit more.
We are doing a spring fling, which basically is all about food, because our neighborhood loves food.
Yes, and you have amazing
Yeah, it's
cooks
all
there.
about the food. So we're gonna have tons and tons of different food this time.
Oh,
But you know,
good.
it'll be a surprise, so I hope you can make it.
Okay,
Hope you can
wonderful.
make it.
Wonderful.
So,
Thank you so much.
very much.
Oh,
Thank
the
you.
check's in the mail,
Thank you.
if you haven't already received it. All right, would you like to do both at the same time or one in?
So I have an Edelen Station and Steeplechase. Is there representative? from Edelen?
We will. He said, "Go, let me do it."
Of the neighborhood event mini grant recipient, town of Plata presented to the villages of Steeplechase in the amount of $500 for the spring cleanup 2023. This 21st day of March 2023, in appreciation and recognition of your participation in the town of Plata's neighborhood event mini grant program. Your community spirit is appreciated, signed by Virginia E. Jenkins. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And what are you going to be doing besides cleaning up? Is that for gloves and all of that stuff?
Gloves and, Things we'll need for spring cleanup, which is going to be on Sunday, May 7th of this year, and we have a small committee. And it's a way to get our neighbors to really buy into the neighborhood, and not that we have a lot of them.
No, that's wonderful.
But, you know, it's the trash that sometimes you don't see or worry about, or just comes in. So it's a way of getting together, working together, getting to know your neighbors. So I'm representing Pat Vera, who is the chairman of the committee. She's unable to make it tonight, but I want to thank you. Those grants are great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for applying.
Thank you.
Block party. The 21st day of March 2023, in appreciation and recognition of your participation in the town of Plata's neighborhood event mini grant program. And your community spirit is appreciated. And by Mayor Janine Jenkins.
And can you tell us a little bit about what you're going to be
Sure.
doing?
So similarly to in previous years, we're gonna have an ice cream party. It's going to sort of coincide with the beginning of summer, opening of our pool, bringing ping pong table out to the, so it should be a good time.
Those are always well attended as well. Anytime you give away free ice cream, it's pretty good. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
If I could have the representatives for Kings Grant come up. See, we've got a couple. Photographer. So tonight I'm happy to present our neighborhood event mini grant to Kings Grant, the amount of $500 for Schools Out, which I understand is a new program this upcoming year. Is that right?
That's true.
Okay. The 21st day of March, 2023, in appreciation and recognition of your participation, Town of La Plata's neighborhood event mini grants program. The spirit is appreciated, signed by our mayor here, supported by all. Thank you very much. Share a little bit about what we're doing for Schools Out.
Yes. Last year we had done a Memorial Day, and so we decided there's a lot of people that really couldn't come, so we split it a little bit later. That weekend is first weekend, all the kids are out of school. Of course, I was able to convince everybody to let me cook again.
You do such a great job.
Burgers and Maryland style corn on the cob. And of course, we will do the apple pie contest again. So we will probably be looking. And we thought we'd try something new this year just to bring in the younger crowd. And so we'll probably have like a hat decorating contest to try and, bring in the younger set. Because a lot of them, of course, are a little bit young to do the apple pies. And so that will be our program for this year.
That sounds great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And one of the other grants that's out there right now is for National Night Out, which is the first Tuesday of August. So I encourage you all to look at that and apply if it applies to you. So National Night Out is always a great time too. All right, next on our agenda, thank you all very much, appreciate it, is our memorandum of agreement for the Metropolitan Area Drug Task Force. Chief? Good evening.
Chief Schinner, La Plata Police Department. I guess we have to identify ourselves. As the council knows, the La Plata Police Department was approached by Colonel David Mitchell, the University of Maryland Police Department, and he's also the chairman of the Metropolitan Area Drug Task Force, about the La Plata Police Department joining the Washington Area Drug Task Force. Currently, the task force is made up of the Maryland State Police, the Montgomery County Police Department, the Prince George's County Police Department, and the University of Maryland Police Department. La Plata would serve as the municipal agency on the task force, replacing the Greenbelt Police Department, who is withdrawn. It would also give the task force presence in Southern Maryland. The Washington Metropolitan Area Drug Task Force focuses on supply interruption of various controlled dangerous substances. I attended the quarterly meeting last week, and there is a renewed emphasis on interrupting the supply of fentanyl and opioids coming into the state. This is the second task force that the La Plata Police Department is a member of. We're also a member of the Charles County Drug Task Force. As the council knows, drug task forces or any task forces serve as force multipliers. Not only will we, as a community and an agency, benefit from the experience offered by the seasoned detectives from these larger agencies that are part of the task force, but our officer who's going to be assigned to it is just going to, again, gather a whole vast knowledge of not only drug investigation, but basic investigative experience. And he's going to carry that through his entire career here in La Plata. I have a rule of not leaving people on task forces for more than 2 or 3 years, rotating people in and out. So there's a lot of opportunity for people to get experience. I think this is an extraordinary opportunity for our community and it's our agency. So it's my high recommendation that we enter into this MOU with our partners at the Washington Area Drug Task Force.
Thank you. Does council have any questions? And I see Councilman Goldsmith is up online too.
Madam Mayor, Councilwoman Bryant Ward, Ward 3, Chief Schinner, what is the time commitment for this task force?
Well, the time commitment, we eventually want to assign an officer full-time to the task force. That's our ultimate goal. But right now, we're going to serve mostly as a asset seizing authority for the task force as a municipal agency. So there'll be some finance time. I did speak to Karina about that, and I don't think the time is going to burden anybody. And again, my ultimate goal is to assign a detective full-time. There's lots of, we know things coming up and down 301 on a daily basis. And having the experience of these other detectives working with us, we'd like to interrupt some of the fentanyl and opioids that are coming into Southern Maryland as well.
Okay, and my question was more in line with the fact that we are still seeking officers for our force. How does that time commitment impact our bench strength, here in La Plata?
Oh, I think that's a good question. The challenge is with any law enforcement right now is keeping what you have. So today we look good. On paper, we're good, but I have 2 in the Anne Arundel County Police Academy. I have 1 that we're going to bring on and get sworn in here in the next couple of weeks. They're going to be attending comparative compliance at the Prince George's Municipal Academy. I have 1 getting ready to go into the Anne Arundel County Police Academy. So on paper, we look good, but there's still officers that are in training that are not out there. Our commitment to the task force, and we made sure that Chief Mitchell and our partners knew that is once we got to the staffing level that we felt was appropriate and we could assign somebody and it wouldn't hurt. Patrol's the backbone of our organization. If it's not going to hurt the patrol side, then that's when we're going to move and assign somebody there.
Thank you.
Any other questions? So I'm looking for a consensus to move this forward for legislation. Councilman Goldsmith, are you okay to move this forward?
Yes, fully support.
Councilman Trollinger,
Absolutely.
Councilwoman Bryant Ward,
Yes.
Councilman Jenkins.
Hardy, yes.
Yes, and I am as well. So we'll be seeing this in just a little bit. We'll move this forward. Thank you very much, Chief. Next on the agenda is our legislation. It's ordinance 23-09. And this is for consideration of adoption. This is our second reading. Gentle touch.
There we go. Yes, Madam Mayor, ordinance 2309, amendment to the Town of La Plata fiscal year 2023 financial plan budget. As you stated, it is for consideration of adoption. An ordinance concerning amendment to the Town of La Plata fiscal year 2023 financial plan for the purpose of amending the Town of La Plata fiscal year 2023 financial plan budget and all matters generally relating thereto.
Thank you very much. Do I have a motion to accept ordinance? That's right, right. We have to have a public hearing on it. Is that correct?
No.
We don't, not for that one. Accept ordinance 23-09 as presented.
Madam Mayor, I would make a motion to approve ordinance 23-09, amendment to the Town of La Plata fiscal year 2023 fiscal plan budget as presented.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I second them.
Any discussion? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is resolution 23-07 for consideration, for introduction and consideration of adoption.
Yes, Madam Mayor, Town Council, La Plata Police Department purchase of body worn cameras. A resolution concerning La Plata Police Department purchase of body worn cameras for the purpose of authorizing the town manager to enter into a contract purchase agreement of body worn cameras for the La Plata Police Department and all matters relating thereto.
Thank you very much. Do I have a motion to accept resolution 23-07 as presented?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I move that we accept resolution 23-07, La Plata Police Department purchase of body worn cameras as presented.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. And that brings us to resolution 23-10 for introduction and consideration of adoption.
Yes, Madam Mayor, Town Council, a resolution concerning Metropolitan Area Drug Task Force Memorandum of Agreement for the purpose of authorizing the La Plata Police Department to enter into a memorandum of agreement for the formation of the Metropolitan Area Drug Task Force and all matters related thereto.
Thank you very much. Do I have a motion to accept resolution 23-10 as presented?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I move that we accept resolution 23-10 Metropolitan Area Drug Task Force Memorandum of Agreement as presented.
Do I have a second?
Second, Madam Mayor.
Any discussion? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. That will bring us down to our commission reports. Commissioner, listen, I've elevated you there, Jim. How about Councilman Goldsmith? Do you have anything to report?
Nothing to report at this time.
Okay, thank you very much. Councilman Challenger?
Nothing at this time.
Okay, Councilwoman Bryant Ward?
The Planning Commission didn't meet this month, so there's nothing to report.
And thank you very much. And Councilman Jenkins?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just, not a commission report, but if I may indulge the council, there are two I guess, events that are upcoming that may be of importance to the town and the county. First, this recently released, there was a press release. Actually, I got an email tonight from the Charles County Recreation Department. Director Kelly and I have been on this task force to look at 3 new parks, one of which is the adjacent park to Wills Park called La Plata Farm. So they're going to have their next meeting is April the 12th, where they will be presenting their quote final concept plans for each of those parks, including La Plata Park.
Great.
And there's a website that folks can go to and access that information as well. If you go to the Charles County Recreation website, they have a link, and they provide detailed information about each proposed park, including, again, La Plata Farm Park. And the other one, actually, I got this through a press release of the county, Charles County. The Fish and Wildlife Service is seeking a public input as they are proposing to expand the wildlife refuge that's currently up in southern Prince George's County and would extend to certain lands in Charles County. So they're doing an outreach for folks to provide public comment. And the first, there's a hybrid listening session, which has been scheduled for Thursday, March the 30th at 7 to 8 p.m. at the Charles County Government Building. And again, you can go to the Charles County website to find that information as well. And there's also a link to the program itself. So I just thought that would be important to talk.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And for my report, this Friday, we will be having an official ribbon cutting for Pine Grove subdivisions. That will be in the morning at 11 o'clock. On Saturday, the hospital will be hosting their 25th, I think it is, anniversary, their gala there. And that's going to be down at Swan Point. And I would hope that everyone on the 11th of April, and check your calendars, you're not doing anything. Come on back, because we're going to have some guests here that will be running the show. An 11-year-old is going to be our junior mayor. And so we have quite a treat there. And I promise you, it's not going to be a really, really long one, because it's a school night. And also I'm going to, and I'm sorry, I didn't prep you for this, but I'm going to put Councilwoman Bryant Ward on the spot. She has a wonderful program on Saturday about opioids. And if you could just tell the public a little bit about that.
Oh, well, thank you.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. On Saturday, the 25th of March, from 10 to 12, I'm having a town hall on opioid addictions. I don't know if you're listening to the media, but our 13, 14, 15-year-olds are being severely impacted. Some of these town halls have actually taken place in Montgomery County, Prince George's County, in DC, and I did not want to go without us having the opportunity to hear from experts. We will have our own Chief Schinner, the state health officer, Dr. Diana Abney, psychologist from DC, and Master Corporal Caldwell from the Sheriff's Department. He's going to have the Hope trailer out that shows parents where some of the hiding spots are and things to identify when you're looking for or suspecting that there may be drug use in your home. So certainly come out, and your teens are welcome to come out and hear this information. I would really welcome them to come out to get the facts about opioids and the impact that it has not only on them, but on their families. And if it's not them and their families, it's their friends. We've seen overdoses, near overdoses in the bathrooms in our middle schools. I mean, just think about that. Drugs in our middle schools. These are young kids, and it is so important that we get ahead of this. So I hope you all come out. I'm excited about the opportunity.
Thank you very much. And with that, I move to adjourn. Do I have a second? Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming out. All of our meetings are this short, so join us every week.
That concludes tonight's evening. Thank you for joining us.